Mr. Finley, Mr. Banks, are you waiving sounding of the charges, or would you like me to read the charges?
We're waiving.
Welcome back to another video within the News TV Daily. Now we have an update on YFN Lucci's case. Now the police are saying that YFN Lucci was the driver in the incident, and they have a video recording of them on their way to handle their business against the ops. And on top of that, we have YFN Lucci on video in court, and the judge is not letting YFN Lucci get a bond because he's responsible for this whole situation in the first place. Now this is according to the courtroom. Now let's get into the news. Now YFN Lucci allegedly was behind the wheel of a vehicle that was used to go to the authorities. Now YFN Lucci was allegedly behind the wheel of a car that was responsible, the authorities are calling a gang-related drive-by shooting. Now YFN Lucci, whose government name is Rashawn Bennett, turned himself in Wednesday afternoon, the day after the authorities announced that YFN Lucci and two others were wanted for that incident that happened on December 10th. Now the arrest warrant says that YFN Lucci and three other gang members drove to a specific area known to their rivals. Now when they arrived, two people in the car opened fire using choppers. Now during that back and forth, 28-year-old James Adam was hit in the head by the rivals allegedly. Now according to the reports, they found a video recording. During the actual video recording, before the incident took place, they have someone on camera saying, "We're about to F up this city, man." Now in the warrant, it says that YFN Lucci drove the crew to the 900 block of Demock Street around 5:15 p.m. and they pulled the vehicle over to the shoulder of the street. Now Adams, the man who passed away, and 23-year-old Ravon Boyd was the two people who opened fire. Now this is according to the authorities allegedly. Now according to the reports, a 32-year-old who was allegedly a rival to YFN Lucci, maybe he was outside, he was hit in the stomach during the incident. Now he did survive his injuries and arrived at a nearby fire station looking for medical help. Now the authorities are saying that Adam, the guy who passed away, was in the car during the incident. He was manually ejected from the car, meaning that someone pushed him out of the car while they were driving and left him in a nearby street. Now this is according to the arrest warrant. Now the police did find him lying down on the ground when they responded to the incident. Now this definitely makes sense with the whole emergency phone call. A lot of people were confused in my comments yesterday, but this was the reason that the lady said, that man was found laying in the street. Now they're saying that YFN Lucci and his crew allegedly pushed Adams out of the car and kept it moving. So if this is the case, tell me in the comments below, guys, why do you think they pushed him out of the car? I mean, isn't it that their friend? I have no clue. I'm not from the streets. I mean, if I'm going to do something and my friend gets hit allegedly, I'm going to take him to the hospital. I'm going to make sure he's good. Why would they throw him out on the street? You guys let me know in the comments below. You street guys or people that know more about street sense, tell me why they pushed him on the car in the comments below. Now, so the authorities did find several shell casings at the scene. Now, Boyd was one of the alleged hitters in YFN Lucci's car. Now, he was arrested in Miami, Florida. Now, the other teen, Leroy Pitts, was arrested as well, but they are unclear on what role he played in this incident. Now, officially, YFN Lucci faces 4 charges in connection to this situation, including being responsible for his friend Adams passing away, aggravated assault, participating in a criminal street gang, and a possession of a weapon during the commission of a felony. Now here is YFN Lucci when he made his first appearance at that Fulton County courtroom.
Sean Bennett. I'm sorry? You're charged with 4 felonies. Mr. Finley, Mr. Banks, are you waiving sounding of the charges, or would you like me to read the charges?
We're waiving.
All right, and have you informed your client of the charges against him?
We have, Your Honor. I'll point to Your Honor that there is a series of 3 warrants to entertain, one ending in 1-4 that is felony, and then 1-3 and 1-5, which are the underlying aggravated assaults. Here is the triggering mechanism, obviously, is the aggravated assaults. On their face, 1-3 does not in any way allege that Mr. Bennett is the perpetrator of aggravated assault, or for that matter, the party to the crime of aggravated assault, and therefore making 1-4 that allegation impossible. The same thing with 1-5. His proximity in a vehicle to someone with is not what establishes aggravated assault.
Detailed in the face of the warrant is his roles, specifically in the conduct that gave rise to the aggravated assault and then subsequently the felony. him allowing the occupants of his vehicle, him being the driver of the subject vehicle, to actually get out of the vehicle, fire multiple rounds, and then drive off with those occupants. So based on what the court has before it in the affidavits for all the warrants, there's more than enough to continue on and to find probable cause at this juncture.
Mr. Bennett, because of the COVID crisis, I'm not able to tell you when your next court date will be. You will receive notice of your next court date from the jail. Is there anything further on this case from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything further on this case from the defense?
Okay, Your Honor.
Now, YFN's lawyer, Drew Finding, says that they will continue to have their own independent investigation on his behalf. So they are not letting YFN Lucci get a bond, you guys. I repeat, they are not letting YFN Lucci get a bond. Now, here is an exclusive Zoom video of YFN Lucci and his lawyer, and they're pretty much going back and forth to say what charges stick and what charges do not stick. Now, YFN Lucci's lawyer said that the 2 charges should be dropped against him. He's saying that the evidence is not sufficient enough, but the courts feel they have more than enough evidence to get YFN Lucci off of these streets with no bond. Now, the simple fact they're saying that he used his own car and he drove there and they actually opened fire from his car, they're saying these charges are going to stick and he doesn't get any bond. So let's talk about this in the comments. What is the outcome for this case? Now, being that YFN Lucci is currently having no bond, how long does YFN Lucci have to sit until he gets the bond or a trial? Now, with this whole pandemic going on and things like that, if he doesn't get a bond and he has to wait to court, he could be gone for a long time. Now, I'm not from Atlanta, but what's the usual outcome for a case like this? Hypothetically speaking, let's say a driver allegedly drives to a scene, they let off, and they drive away and someone passes away. How long would this particular person have to do if he's convicted? Let me know in the comments below, you guys. Now, I know one thing's for sure. Young Thug, who is another rival allegedly to YFN Lucci, has something to say about YFN Lucci getting locked up. And as usual, Young Thug kept it real, and he said this on his Instagram stories. He says this, he says, he doesn't want to see anyone in jail, #free all. Now that says a lot. Now, if you guys know anything about YFN Lucci and Thugger, they've been beefing for a long time in the South. So I guess it's rules when it comes to this street stuff. Like I said, I'm not from the streets. It gives me a headache thinking about it, to keep it real. So that's all I have for this YFN Lucci case. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, or if you have some, or if you got some good information from me, please make sure to like the video and share it with a friend if you can. Now, I'm in the news with it, and I will catch you on the next one. Signing out.